What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of my hip hop review. But before I start, what was I about to say? Oh, I want to give my condolences to the people caught up in that Virginia shooting that happened a couple of days ago. Yeah, it was a fucked up thing that happened, but it is what it is. And if you got caught up in that, or you have family members caught up in that, hope you guys be safe and everything like that. Okay, so this next album, I was requested to me a couple of excuse me, a couple of months or probably last year, and I didn't really have the time to review it and stuff like that. So I want to give a shout out to my boy Joy Boy. He requested me to do this album, and the album is gonna be MF Doom, aka King Geeordrah, Take Me to the Leader. See if y'all can see that right there. Right there. Yeah, if y'all can see that. Released in 2003 on Big Data Records and stuff like that. Yeah. This was actually King Geeordrah was actually an alliance on one of MF Doom's multiple alter egos and stuff like that. So yeah, very interesting singles. I think the only single that came out of this album was give me one sec. I think the only single was Lockjaw. I think that was the only single. So I already talked about King Geeordrah a while back ago. I reviewed the what's the album? Operation Doomsday, his first solo album. But if y'all don't know who MF Doom is, fuck. Okay. If y'all know who MF Doom is, he is MC and a producer. Originally, he was in the group KMD, but he didn't go by MF Doom. He went by, I think, Zev Love D, some shit like that. They only came out with, two official albums, but the last album got shelved. It got shelved because of the cover art, the Black Bastards album. And yes, the shit they were talking about, I believe. I didn't get my hands on that album, though. That's actually a pretty dope album. And so, MF Doom, he kind of went through like a depression. He was homeless, but he was rapping in like local clubs and shit like that. And so that's when he dropped Operation Doomsday. MF Grimm, like they were working with MF Grimm, and basically Operation Doomsday was released. And so Operation Doomsday, the King Geeordrah alter egos introduced on that album. So I can't remember the song on top of my head though. So I do have the album. I have the album. I'll just look at it and stuff like that. So that following year in 2000, the Black Bastards album was released finally, and to this day, that album had like a cult status towards it. If y'all picked up the Check the Technique Volume 2 book, which I do have, they talk about the making of the album and stuff like that. So, and that same year, he had released an EP with MF Grimm. It's called the EP. I believe it's called the EP and stuff like that. I need to hear that EP. I actually never heard the EP. So, and I don't know. I think it was around this time. I'm not too sure. That both Grimm and Doom. I don't know if it was around this time. Hold on, give me 1 second. I don't know exactly when they started beefing, but they started. I think they beefed because there's a lot of rumors why they beef. How they're talking about money after Operation Doomsday, And I think Grimm felt like he deserved most of his shit. I think because he came out with like most of the samples and everything like that. I'm not too sure how. I'm just going by what I've heard. So yeah. Other than that, let me get back. Okay. So also the next year in 2001, he has started to release his infamous Special Herb series, and so they're just basically instrumentals and stuff like that. Those series were very well loved among a lot well loved in his fan base and stuff like that, and plenty of rappers have went for those beats and stuff like that. I mean, those beats like oh crap. That's all I'm gonna say. And so fast forward to 2003, he had released "Take Me to Your Leader," and Geeordrah he was the producer, but in his alter ego he only MCs in like 4 tracks, and the other track has like guest MCs, or it'll just be like beats with old TV shows and movies and stuff like that, which MF Doom is known for doing a lot in his music. And that's what I loved about his. That's what drew me into his music and shit like that. So, alright, so producers are the Metal Fingered Villain, MF Doom, and E Mason and shit. Guest appearances are Biolate, which is basically Curious George, as you should know him. I need to get my hands on his album, A Constipated Monkey, but the album is like very hard to come by, and I think it's out of print too. So, Jigen, MF Doom, Lil Ski, ID for Wins, Style, Jet Jaguar, which is MF Grimm, Rodin, MF Doom, Mr. Fantastic, Take Me to Your Leader, Trunks, and Hasten Chop. Alright. So 13 tracks. Let's do this. Track number 1, Phasers. Dope way to start off the album. And that's like a very good way how they introduced his new ego. Well, reintroduced him. I love the beat, and I love that sound of MF doing like that mid 2000s sound, where it would just have like soul samples or just have off the wall production and shit like that. Next track is Fast Lane featuring Biolate, aka Curious. That was a very interesting track because he was talking about the state of hip hop at a time and how it was just like it wasn't what hip hop was made. It was like too flashy and all that shit. Cause you gotta remember, like, this album was recorded like around 2002, 2003, and at that time, Murder Inc. was doing a thing, which Murder Inc. like Ja Rule was getting like a lot of heat around that time, of course. And then he had G Unit on the rise, and like more Cash Money, like more rapper. It was like getting more to like the materialistic state, but that's another topic for a different day. So very interesting track. Then we have Crazy World featuring Jigen or Jigen, whatever how we call him, and it's just Jigen on the mic, and yeah, that sounds. I wasn't really too crazy about that one. Then we have the final hour featuring MF Doom. Kind of short. This is when I love how they use that Hall and Oates sample, but the way he did it, he just slowed it down. Like, I'm not gonna do it. You're gonna have to listen to it for yourself, because the way he slowed down, he just made it so eerie and just so sinister, and he would kind of use those throughout the album and shit. Then we have Monster, which was basically like an audio collage of like sci-fi movies and TV shows, but that beat is so smooth as fuck though. One of his illest beats. Then we have Next Next Levels featuring Lil Ski, ID for Woods, and Style. That was an okay song. It Okay. No Snakes Alive featuring Jet Jaguar and Rogan. Ridiculous flow placed on that song. Very good song. It's just that the flow is just gets so hypnotic. You gotta listen to that. After that is Antimatter. Cool song right there. It's featuring MF Doom with Mr. Fantastic. Um, Actually, yeah, this was a single, and the only single. And the crazy thing about Mr. Fantastic is he's like, from what I've looked up, no one really knows his identity, and it's like been that to discussion. A lot of people think it's MF Doom. A lot of people think it's Grim. People don't really know his identity and shit like that. But then we got Take Me to Your Leader, which is just a skit. Lockjaw is the next song featuring Trunks. It's just them going in at the main theme from the movie The Stone Killer. Pretty okay song. Actually, that's a dope song. I'm sorry. There is I Wonder featuring Hyson Chop. To me, that's my favorite song off the album. And it's just him looking back at his life, and he wonders like why certain things happen He wonders why certain things happen, but then he came to like a realization that things happen for a reason, so you just gotta live with it. Then we have a skit called One Smart Nigga. Basically a skit when they have like interesting clips of them talking about black people. And then last song is The Fine Print. Yeah, that song was okay. Okay, overall, I like this, but I don't like it as much as a lot of people love this album. I mean, don't get me wrong. The production was good. King Geeordrah did his thing, but I feel like the only thing that I don't like about it was a bit too much guest appearances on it. I don't know. It was just I wish you would have. I mean, the guest appearances, some of them did their thing, like Grim and Curious, but then at the same time, like I don't know, it was just a bit too much. I could have just scaled the guest appearances down a little bit, but it's still a good album. It's good, but not great in my opinion. I kind of prefer The Wonderful Villain that came after this album. I kind of prefer that album a bit more than this one, but I need to get my hands on that album too. So, other than that, this King Geeordrah, Take Me to Your Leader. Stay tuned for more stuff. Peace.